ever thought to yourself, you know, I'm going to withhold sex and I'm going to show him what is missing, and then I'm going to tell him, unless you commit to me, you can't get all of this. Why dangling sex before men is low value? Let's talk about that right after this. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, still hailing from the beautiful Caribbean, of course. And I hope that you are all taking good care of yourself. Now, let's talk about this because this is coming up on my desk. A lot of us believe that if we show men how truly sexy we are, if we show up half naked, if we show up with them and go on a date and make out hard, or, you know, literally strip ourselves naked, then this man is gonna know exactly what he is missing. He's gonna touch it, he's gonna feel it, he's gonna be like, I've gotta keep this girl because she's the one thing I can't have. We have this dangling way of becoming, and I really want to talk to my church girls right now, because even though many of us do it, it is really the church girls that have a hard time maintaining, okay? Because many of us are part of the purity culture and we want to make sure that we don't have sex before we're married. And I want to ask you to share this video because I am using the word sex a lot and it probably will end up getting flagged. So I just want us to share because this is a conversation that we all need to have as grown-ups and as adults. Now, the reality of it is that dangling your naked body in front of a grown man is not going to send the signal that you are in any way high value, high status, or high worth. In fact, you are only gonna seem like a needy, thirsty young lady who is looking for attention and is a massive big tease. Let's not get this twisted. It is perfectly okay for you. It's not advisable, but it's perfectly okay for you to be thinking, you know, I'd like to do this. And at some point during the process, feel like this is not for me, I'm not ready. A no is a no, and stopping at any time is required of your other partner, whether it be a man or a woman. The moment somebody changes their mind about what they're doing, it is healthy to allow them to do that and not end up in a problem. So it is perfectly fine if you had every intention of sleeping with this man to change your mind halfway during the process, knowing that it is not going to be easy for the other person to just be okay with that. You know, when we make a decision for our own standards and we make a decision for our own boundaries, we have to also hold space for other people not being okay with them. That is whether it's friendship or romantic relationships. I am calling it the Church Girls series, but it's not exclusively for church girls. It's for women who live by a certain moral code, who have a certain type of spirituality, and who find that they are being sabotaged by it. Obviously, you've been in these pews a while waiting and praying for God to bring a husband and you're still here. So there must be something that we are doing wrong. I want to tell you a story of a young lady that was dating this high value, high status, high worth man who really was a born again man of God, loved Jesus and all that great stuff. But, you know, every time they were dating, he was really ready to marry. He was ready for his partner. That's what he was after. Everything going for him. He would go to her house and visit her, and she would open the door in a string thong bikini, literally half naked, walk up and down in front of him and do all of these things because she wanted him to know what he was missing, I'm assuming. And of course, at some point things got hot and heavy, and just before intercourse began, she literally pulled away and did the whole stop thing. And of course, where he was intending to propose or to be with this woman, that was the deciding factor, because And the person who was sharing me was trying to understand what had happened, because this was a guy who was sharing the story with me and he didn't understand what was going on in her head. And I realized that she was a church girl, and she thought that, a conscience kicked in because she obviously likes him. And we know as church girls, when we really like somebody, or even as girls, when we really, really like someone, we don't want to rush intercourse with them because we want to build an emotional connection. But that is not how it is interpreted by men. This is not read very well for the guy. She's an absolute tease, a woman with no integrity, a woman who doesn't really know what she's about, a woman who doesn't stand for anything. She's really low value, trying to ask me to pay high value woman prices. Okay, if you genuinely believe that you do not want to have sex before marriage, or you would like to postpone sexual intimacy for a certain length of time and space, then it's really important that what you do prior to having intercourse with a man is even more important than whether you say yes or no to his advances.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap and continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy a community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!
How we move, how we dress, the places we go, and the things that we do, and the yeses that we say yes to, and the no's that we say no to. Tell a man that you are truly committed to your values for your reasons. Now, obviously, by this point, you should have discussed your reasons, and they should really not be about, waiting for my husband or whatever, because that is read by most men to think, well, she's only withholding. She wants me to pay full price where other men have paid zero. And this is a conversation that I have with my clients. The best way to have this conversation is to say where I am in my life right now and the work that I've done on myself and my feelings and where I've come from and what I desire. And having invested so much within myself, I don't want to be intimate with somebody who is not on the same page or who hasn't proven certain things to me, or intimate before I get married, because I know what I'm going to bring to the table. And I know that I wanted to be with that one person, and this is where I am in my stage of life now, and it's perfectly fine for him to not be okay with that solution. You can also tell him, quite frankly, my faith and my religion or my culture, necessitates that I wait before marriage, or I wait a certain amount of time. Whatever your reason is, give a reason. Don't just say, well, I'm waiting, no ring, no thing, or something of that nature, because that's just manipulative and controlling. Have a conversation with him as a human being and just be clear. But when you've had that conversation, move like a woman of integrity, move like a woman of honor, move like a woman who truly lives a lifestyle of virtue, if virtue is the reason you're not having it. That means stay out of private places. Stop having dates in enclosed private places. Don't make out with a guy to the point where clothes are coming off and hands are going places where ordinarily only people who are going the full journey would go. Stop positioning yourself with this man under any circumstances such a way that lets him know that things are gonna go further than you intend. I was invited once to a beautiful date, to a beautiful, beautiful date by a very fantastic man who I knew that I was not going to pursue any kind of sexual relationship with for reasons known to myself and himself. But I just knew that I wasn't ready to do that. And so, he invited me to a beautiful date, it was life-changing, beautiful place and everything else. But to be honest with you, I declined that invitation because the way the date was set up was that it was going to be in a hotel and there were going to be spas going on and there were going to be little things that I knew that it was his opportunity to see me, half naked in my bikini, or an opportunity for me to kind of warm up, and their rooms upstairs, and there were too many little things in the way that were going going to indicate that things were not going to end very well. I was already sexually attracted to this man, so there was no point in positioning myself in that position. So I kindly declined his offer, and he graciously accepted my decline. You know, I am happy to meet him anywhere else at any other time. I was happy to do that, but I was not prepared to put myself in a position where I am likely to compromise myself or him. And it was important for me to manifest myself as a woman of virtue and integrity, so that he would know that even the way I move, even the places I go, even the things I say yes to, those things speak to who I am as a woman. You know, if a man is inviting you to a spa break to go swimming and all sorts of things, understand that he just wants to see you half naked. Unless you're in a long-term relationship with this man or married to this man, he just wants to see you half naked and accelerate that sexuality. You have to be a lady outside of the bedroom. You have to be a lady outside of the bedroom. You can't just become a lady at the point of intercourse. You can't decide that you finally suddenly have virtue at the point in which this man is aroused and both of you are aroused and things are getting hot and heavy, and all of a sudden you're a woman of virtue. That virtue must be seen prior to anybody being horizontal or anywhere near being horizontal. If you want a man to take you seriously as a woman of virtue, act like it, move like it, be that girl who has a certain set of standards, meet in places that are public, you know, create the atmosphere that he knows and nothing is going to happen tonight other than getting to know each other and building a strong connection that is emotional and that will lead to either marriage, engagement, or a committed relationship where I feel comfortable to be sexual with you. We cannot show up one way and then throw our values or morals at a man and expect him to take it. And so many of us are missing out on opportunities to be in a meaningful relationship with a grown man who is not just after sex, but maybe he's come to expect it, because let's face it, sex is cheap in the dating market. A man doesn't even have to commit to get laid anymore. And so it's perfectly natural for most men to push for sexual intimacy on the third date or the fourth date. You know, I've had some of you girls say to me, oh, I'm gonna have to sleep with him on the third date. Who says? Where is it written that you have to sleep with a man on the third date? I am not talking about sexual purity. This is not what I'm here to talk about. You should know your covenant with God. You should know where you stand. And for all of us, whether we like it or not, or whether it's pleasing or not to anybody watching this, we all have our different levels of where we are prepared to be intimate with a man. Whatever that place is, live up to your dignity beforehand. Whatever that place is, be the woman who prior lives the life. Because if you don't, you're just a low value tease. The man will abort mission. And this poor church girl got dumped because of it. If she was the only example that I had, I would not be doing this video. But I have heard a million. I was talking to a friend of mine who's also a coach, and she was sharing with me that, you know, she knows a Christian girl who has been waiting till marriage for the last 10 years. I'm just putting out that number. But, you know, every time she dates a guy, she will do something stupid like go swimming with him naked. Ladies, it is not enough to, and I have clients that come to me and say, oh, but nothing happened. What does that mean? What that means is that you did not have intercourse. Sex is anything where you touch, you taste, you feel, when your senses are involved, you are having sex with somebody. A snog is sex. Intercourse is a different thing. That is when we come to penetration. But sex is a whole thing. You know, it's a whole thing. It's bigger than just intercourse. And so if you are going to, you know, engage sexually and then refuse to have intercourse, that is not nothing happened. That is something happened. And if something happened, something happened. I don't want to talk about why it happened. We're going to talk about, you know, guilt, you know, for having intercourse before marriage in the next video, or maybe we've already had it in the video that has come. But, you know, I want us to deal with the issues of guilt that come with it, that make us not dysregulated and cause us not to function in the way that we should. But what I want to leave you in this video with is dangling it. This is not the answer. This is not the way forward. This is not the Black Swan way. And it's not going to win you that man's affection. It's not going to win you that man's respect. It's going to make you look stupid. So can we please Be a lady, be virtuous, be a woman who lives out your values and your morals, whatever they are. Even if you're watching this and you're the first date girl, you're the girl that sleeps with a man on the first date, then fair enough, go do that. If you're the girl that is hunting for sex, then this video has nothing to do with you. But I'm talking to the girls who want to marry, who want a stable relationship with a man, who want a lasting relationship with a man. We need to stop the culture of dangling our nakedness or dangling and sexuality and sensuality and seduction. They're way more subtle crafts. They're way more sophisticated. Let me tell you something. If you don't know how to flirt and date and you don't know how to build attraction in a man, then of course we've got you here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. You can just go and enroll in one of the courses that I've just named, the Mastering Attraction Masterclass, the Flirt and Date Masterclass. Go and enroll, get educated, or better still, pick up the phone and call a coach. We will teach you how to be seductive in a high value feminine way. We will teach you how to tap into dark feminine energy in a way that makes you an absolute queen and the most desired woman on the planet. If you want to be sexy and ooh sexiness, that has nothing to do with dangling things, got nothing to do with showing up naked. It certainly has nothing to do with making a man feel like you are toying with him. You would never accept it for yourself. Therefore, do not present it to your partner or potential partner. We need to live out our morals and our values, whatever they are, because that is high value. I hope we'll be hearing from you soon. I hope you've downloaded the Black Swan app, where we will be having lives, conversations. We're having fantastic conversations that we would never ever have on this platform. And of course, look forward to our group lives on YouTube, because we're coming out and talking about conversations that are happening out in the world and having a discussion with you, my beautiful ones. And do let us know what you would love us to discuss that is out there in the world, because we are here for you. This video, I hope, is going to be helpful to you, whether you're a church girl or not a church girl. And before I go, I've got to mention that this applies to your Instagram as well and your Facebook. Please, ladies, soon in the Black Swan app, if depending on when you're watching this, it might actually be out. We're going to be going through, my coaches and I, your Instagram profiles. We're going to be going through them, because some of you are into fitness, some of you are models, some of you are into fashion, and you are not presenting like a black swan, and you're wondering why you're calling me and saying, hey, why do men just want to hit it and quit it? Why am I constantly having this conversation about sex and sexuality? It's because you're presenting yourself as that. I want us to be able to help you with your Instagram. I want you to be able to help you with your socials, because Instagram is one of the biggest dating apps. Did you not know that? So yes, there's so much that we can discuss around this, but I only have a few minutes. And of course, you can always call me or any of my coaches. Happy to have a chat and help you out in your love life. I'm so excited. And of course, we will see you on the Black Swan app. We'll be doing lives and all these exciting things for you. I will see you on my next video. But in the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those three things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look. And I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all of your comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.